I'm about to let you in on a little secret on how I lost 10 pounds a month consistently using the 80-20 rule and intermittent fasting. So hey there, I'm super excited to share my keto diet journey with you. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to share one of my favorite keto recipes, blueberry yogurt with macadamia nuts. Alright, so I've lost 20 pounds in 2 months. That's an average of 10 pounds a month, right? I went from 210 pounds down to 190 without losing any muscle mass because I exercise twice a week and I keep my protein levels high. Okay? So if you're thinking about losing weight and just need a little motivation, stay tuned because this approach worked for me and I'm sure it's going to work for you just as well. By the way, if you're new here, I'm Dave and welcome to Boomer Theory. This is my channel where I dive into topics that can make life over 50, more fulfilling. In fact, I turned 62 this month. So if this is the first time you've checked out one of my videos, put a comment down below. Let me know. I'd love to engage with you and help you on your journey, and you can help me in the same just by keeping me motivated. All right. So just a quick backstory. I want to tell you why I started keto. I wanted to lose a little weight and feel less tired. And for those of you who don't know, the keto diet's all about low carbs, moderate protein, and high fat. The idea is to get your body into a state of ketosis where it burns fat for energy instead of carbs. Carbs are sugar, and carbs make me feel tired. They spike your blood sugar and then it drops really bad and you feel tired. And in the meantime, your body's burning that sugar instead of the fat that you already have. So if your goal is to lose weight, you got to cut out the carbs. Okay, so here's what my typical day looks like. I wake up around 5 a.m. in the morning. I turn on my coffee maker, which I've already prepared the night before. And sometimes I'll put some half and half in the coffee for creamer. But I always put in MCT oil, 1 tablespoon of MCT oil in my first cup. If you don't know, MCT oil, it helps you, induce the ketosis, the state of ketosis. So it's helpful there. Yeah, I've talked about it in my previous videos, and I'll drop a link to the MCT oil I use in the description below. So like I said, my work day starts at 7 a.m. And by then I've had my shower, I've gotten dressed, prepared my mid-morning breakfast, which is my first meal of the day, and then my lunch, and then I'm out the door. All right? Around 10 a.m., that's when I'm having my first meal, which, like I say, sometimes is my blueberry macadamia nut yogurt. Maybe I'll also have a couple hard-boiled eggs with that, and I'm typically only drinking ice water throughout the day. I have me a thermos, which I'll drop a link to that too. It's a little thermos. I can put it in my backpack on the way to work. Out the door, I put ice in it, and it stays cold all day. I drink ice water, and I used to drink soda and all that stuff, but no, this is what I do, and it's been working. Let's see, around noon, I'll have whatever I made for lunch. And by the way, so I put together a keto recipe book with some simple meals. They're easy to prepare, and they're keto friendly. So if you'd like a copy of that, just drop a comment below with the word recipe. Just put recipe, and I'll respond with a link to my my keto book. Like I said, it's a PDF. It's not very big. You can download it. You can see if any of the recipes sound good to you. But by eating this way and following this routine, I can tell you I feel really focused at work, and it's just I feel next level, energy. All right. So I get off work around 3:30, so yeah, I work 7 to 3:30. I head home, and like I mentioned earlier, I exercise twice a week. Usually on Saturday or Sunday, I'll do one exercise in the morning. I get up extra early, I get to the gym before everybody else gets there, so I've got the run of the place. I'll do my upper body on the weekends there. And usually it's like chest, arms, back, shoulders, and those are the type of exercise I do for my upper body. And then during the week, one day during the week before work, on Wednesday usually, I'll head to the gym extra early. Like I say, I get up at 5, I don't start work till 7. The gym's close to my house. I also have some exercise equipment downstairs, so I can use that too if it's too cold outside, and my goal is to stay consistent. But anyway, I'll do like legs and back exercises on Wednesday. I also use exercise an exercise tracking app to track my progress. So if you're interested in that, drop a link below with the word exercise, and I'd be happy to share some of that information with you too. I may actually do a video on the exercise tool that I use, the app. And yeah, so this is what I've been doing. It's been working. And then for dinner, I usually prepare something high protein like fish, chicken, beef, pork, and I'll usually have a side salad or some kind of fresh veggies. I also try to eat an avocado twice a week because that actually helps me feel full, and the fat contents of the avocado is really good for keto also. So what's the 80-20 rule? Okay, well, let's face it. The reason most diets fail is because they're too strict, right? They don't allow you to eat the things that you really enjoy, things that, what I call comfort food, and you get sick of the limited choices that some diets do make you stick to. So I allow myself to enjoy some of the simple pleasures, like having a scoop of ice cream with my sweetheart, or biscuits and gravy for breakfast once in a while. Think of it like this. 80% of the time I'm sticking to keto. I'm choosing the low carb options. But let's say my son invites me to an all-you-can-eat pizza buffet, which happened last Friday, right? So I'm not going to refuse that opportunity to spend time with my son and his family. But when I know ahead of time that I'm going to go out on a Friday evening and be overindulging, right? I'm going to stay focused all week on my keto goals. And another thing I've also noticed is by eating healthy over these past 2 months, my hunger has decreased. So I feel fuller sooner. Maybe my stomach's shrinking, I don't know. But I think it really has to do with avoiding the foods that are high in sugar, which I've talked about in my previous videos, that sugar, to me, it's addicting, and it increases cravings. It spikes your blood sugar, and you're burning sugar, not the fat. That your goal is to lose fat, right? So I stay focused on my keto goals, like I say, during the week. And the other thing I'd say is when I break my goals, I can stop eating when I feel full now. Like I say, I eat less, even when I do splurge. I eat less. And the next morning, sure, the scale may say, I'm a pound over instead of a pound under, In other words, I added a pound. I didn't lose a pound. I would have liked to have lost a pound. But I'm not going to make that cause me to give up on my goals. I'm going to keep focused. I allow myself to splurge every now and then, like I say. The key is, though, keeping it to a minimum, So when I break my keto goal 20% of the time, I'm talking about, a few times a month. So let's say in 30 days, I stick with my keto goal at least 24 of those days. And maybe I have a higher carb meal, no more though than 6 times a month in that 30-day period. So that's your 20%, the 80% of the time I'm following my diet plan. Make sense? All right. So next up, intermittent fasting. It's another one of those things, like I said, that really helps. You've probably heard of it, you know, but have you tried it? That's my question to you. Did it work for you? You know, I'd love to see your comments on that, because it's definitely working for me, and it becomes a habit. You know, it's easier to do. The more I do it, the easier it is to do. If you don't know what it is, intermittent fasting, it's about eating within a window of time. For example, I know a guy, and he says he only eats during the daylight hours. I mean, he's always thin, he's lean, he has a lot of energy, and, you know, always in a good mood. So, for example, in the wintertime, it's 6 a.m. to 5 p.m., you know, is your daylight time, something in that window. So he'll eat within that time period. You know, in the summer, you're more active, maybe it's daylight till 9 o'clock. You can eat more, but you're more active, so you're burning more calories. For me, this is what I do. I try to keep my routine of having my first meal around 10 a.m., like I mentioned earlier, and my last meal no later than 5 or 6 p.m. So that's about an 8-hour window. This means that for at least 16 hours, I'm not eating anything. I'm allowing my body to burn the fat, and there's another process they talk about if you look into this. It's called autophagy. This is where your body's cleansing its old cells. It's getting rid of old, you know, so it's recycling. Your body recycles during that time period. And so, like I say, I eat within an 8-hour window. Those other 16 hours, well, 8 of them, I'm sleeping, so that's no problem. Now, for the other time, when I'm awake but not eating, you know, I find myself focusing on things and having the ability to focus more, like I mentioned. So things that need to get done, my chores, shopping, maybe socializing with some friends, helping my son do something around the house or whatever it is. I have a lot of things I need to do at my house. I can't wait till spring where I can really start. You know, I'm planning on doing a new garden this year. I've got a fence I need to work on. But anyway, the idea is I'm not perfect, but sure, sometimes I feel hungry in the morning, but the coffee with the MCT oil definitely helps me feel full. You know, I also think about my goals. I remember, you know, hey, I want to stay focused at work, and I, again, think about the 80-20 rule. If I can stick to eating only within that 8-hour window, I'm allowing my body to use the fat that I already have for energy. And that's how fasting works. So sometimes I get busy and don't even eat till noon. Other times I may have something for breakfast at 7 a.m. with my coffee, but 80% of the time I'm sticking with my goals. So the next thing I'm going to talk a little bit about is grocery shopping. You know, I'm always looking for healthy food options and trying new things. You know, I make a list of the things I want to buy before I go to the grocery store. I check the sales ads each week, and you know, I'm kind of thrifty. I'll look at the different stores. Hey, what kind of meat do they have on sale? What kind of fresh produce do they have on sale? I also love going to like the farmers markets and getting, you know, more fresh. You know, especially if I can get fresh eggs that come from a farm versus the grocery store. They're much better for you. You know, they got that darker yolk when you cook them, and yeah, from what I understand, they have more nutrients. But yeah, I make a list of those things I want to buy, and that way I'm prepared. I can avoid, you know, stopping in the bread aisle and thinking about that. I don't want any of the, especially the mass-produced bread. Now, like I said, if I want to splurge, I'll go to an Italian bakery. I live near St. Louis, so they have an area called the Hill. And oh man, a lot of artisan Italian bakeries and restaurants. I'll go down there, and I know this bread that they make has no preservatives in it. It's definitely high in carbs, but I'm not getting all that mass-produced chemicals that they put in. In fact, I know an Italian baker, and I know what they put in their bread, and it's very little. It's flour, water, sugar, and fat, you know. So it's really good. It doesn't last long, so even if I buy a loaf of that, I have to eat it. I'm going to put some olive oil and garlic and, you know, seasoning, some Italian seasoning on. Oh man, it's delicioso. So those are the things I do if I'm going to splurge. I also avoid a lot of the high starch, like potatoes and things like that, for the most part. Definitely don't eat the French fries fried in seed oils. That's a whole nother topic, but avoid seed oils if at all possible. In fact, even if you go to a restaurant, I tell the waiter, you know, hey, or waitress, I'm allergic to, you know, vegetable oil. Can you make sure the chef prepares my food with olive oil or something like that? Just to try to maintain the healthy habits that I've developed. So, the other thing about my grocery shopping, hey, if I don't buy it and bring it home, I can't eat it, right? So, there you have it. All right, so as promised, I'm going to give you a quick and easy rundown of my blueberry yogurt with macadamia nuts. Really simple. For the ingredients, I use Fage 2% Greek yogurt, which is high in protein and nutrients. I use macadamia nuts, and both of those I buy at Costco. I also use a zero protein powder, which is zero sugar. You know, if you look at any of these whey protein powders that a lot of the bodybuilders use to supplement the protein, they have a lot of sugar and carbs in them. I'll put a link to the zero protein powder that I use in the description. And like I say, I add that into my yogurt, 1 scoop. I add about an ounce of frozen blueberries. I have a little scale that I use too. You know, especially when I first started. Now I kind of can eye it and know what it looks like, but I use a little scale so I know if the serving size says 1 ounce, I can weigh that out on the scale. Same with the yogurt. I use all of the serving sizes that you put on the package. And I also use an app that helps me track my calories, my macros, my protein and carbs and fat intake. And I'll talk more about that in an upcoming video real soon. But it's called Carb Manager, and it works really, really good to help keep me on track. So, hey, if I get to the end of the day and I see that if I eat a bowl of ice cream, or you know, if I eat some of these pork rind, you know, chicharrones, for example, is a good snack that you can have for a keto diet. But if I've already hit my calorie limit and my carb limit, I avoid certain things for the rest of the day. There's always tomorrow, right? The other thing that I put in there, sometimes I'll put a little raw honey, just, you know, a half a teaspoon, if anything, just drizzle a little raw honey on my bowl of yogurt. I don't think I mentioned what I do with the frozen blueberries. I'll throw them in the microwave for like 1 minute on defrost, so it gets them a little soft. Then I'll take it out of the microwave, put in my yogurt, put in my scoop of protein powder, about a handful of the macadamia nuts. Again, I think the serving size on the bag is something like 2 ounces. And I'll weigh those things out until I understand exactly what it looks like. But that's my recipe. And it's also, you can find that in my my keto recipe book, but I'll send you a link. if you're interested, just put recipes in the comments below. I typically eat this yogurt about twice a week, especially when I get home from my morning workouts, right? Because I want to get that extra protein boost. And another thing I'm just going to add as a bonus is I use creatine every day. So creatine has no flavor. I put, it comes with a little scooper, it's like 5 grams. I use 5 grams a day, and the benefit of creatine is muscle recovery and protein synthesis, so it helps with that. It's also, I mean, there's actually a long list of potential benefits by supplementing with creatine, and you can find out more about that on my website, tunintofitness.com. You got to check that out. It's the word tune, T-U-N-E, the letter N, the number 2, the word fitness.com. I'll put a link to that in my description too. I hope you check it out. You can sign up for, put your email, name and email in on that site, and that'll get you hooked up with additional information, a newsletter that I'll send out and everything like that. So I'd like to engage with you if you find my videos helpful, and yeah, that's one way to do it. So that's it really for today, but I hope you come back next week. I'll drop some more information, and I'll give you another update on my weight loss journey in about a month from now. In the meantime, check out some of my other videos. Check out my dog video, why you really need a dog in your life. Or is it over here? I don't know. Anyway, why you really need a dog in your life. You got to walk your dog. There's some more exercise for you, right? If you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications. You know the routine. Don't miss any of my other updates. If you subscribe and put click on the notifications, you'll be notified when my next video drops. And finally, if you have any keto stories, tips, tricks, comments, I'd love to hear from you. I promise I'll respond back if you do put a comment in there. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye now.